My name is Robin Hessman, and I directed My Perestroika, which is part of the U.S. documentary competition. Perestroika was Gorbachev's policy of change in the Soviet Union. It literally means restructuring. And the film is about 5 people who grew up together as part of the last generation of Soviet kids brought up behind the Iron Curtain. So on the one hand, it's the story of how they lived through Perestroika, but there's also a larger sense because it's how each of them individually went through their changes, their restructuring. I have been thinking about this film probably for the last 10 years and started working on it full-time in September 2004, so it's been a long journey. And it's it came out of the fact that I lived in Russia for over 8 years in the 1990s. I spent really all of my early adult life there. Well, the generation of the 5 people in the film is really my generation. They're a little bit older than me, but it's the people that I spent those years with. And so they're really a unique transition generation who had these completely Soviet childhoods. Everyone was a member of the communist youth, and there was never any indication that anything would be different. And then when they were teenagers and just coming of age, all of a sudden Gorbachev appears on the scene and their country is transformed really fundamentally, very rapidly. And then they graduate from college and all of a sudden the country collapses and they have to make their way as adults in this brand new country, in this brand new society. I was looking for 8mm home movie footage from the very beginning of thinking about the project. Because during the Cold War, the only images that we got in the West were usually parades of tanks through Red Square or children in gray waiting for bread. And there was really nothing at all that captured the intimacy of the human experience and those wonderful moments of everyday, normal, personal life. And so I started looking for home movies far and wide, through bloggers and friends of friends, and there weren't a lot of 8mm cameras there. And so anytime I was talking to people about the film, I would ask if they knew anybody who had some, and I started gathering them from the very beginning. They came on trains across Siberia or handed in the metro from people. And when I met Bordia and Luba for the first time and was beginning to talk to them about the film, I said, "Oh, and I'm just curious, do you know anybody at all who took any home movies in the 70s or 80s? And Bordia said, "Oh, my dad did," and he opened up a closet, and there were stacks and stacks and stacks of film. And it was a treasure trove. And so, although I knew I wanted to saturate the film with images of their generation in the past, I had no idea I would be lucky enough to actually have images of all of them when they were children. That was a real gift. I was hoping that the audience would feel that they had been transported to Russia, both now in their contemporary lives of the characters, but also by all of the images of the past and the music and the sounds, even to almost have the experience that you knew what it was like to be a kid in the Soviet Union in the 1970s. I'm really looking forward to watching the film with an audience. I'm really looking forward to hearing the reactions. I've been working on this film for 5 years, and it is a long time. And a lot of it is spent, by yourself, lugging a camera around or sitting in archives or looking through films. And the idea that after all of this, it's actually going to be out there in the world, that's a really exciting opportunity. And of course, being at Sundance is a great honor.